Hi, welcome everybody. How are you? This is your first Furry Con?
They can't see you, they can't hear you. You gotta stand up.
Guys, make it hard.
Got these things.
Ready. Oh, you beat me. Took the shortcut. Hello, welcome everybody. How y'all doing? So as I said, this is your first Furry Con. I'm going to double task here. Got this, I can multitask.
Sorry.
It's fine, everything's fine. How's everybody doing?
First person.
Good. Welcome. For those of you that don't know, to my right, this is our friend Uncle Kage. He's our special guest this year, one of our guests. He's gonna help me out. Did I say anything? That's okay, that was me at opening ceremony.
Yes, I'm still getting the cobwebs out of my brain. I had a small adventure getting here, but that's a story for later.
Yes. When later?
Oh, when later? It's at 6 p.m. in this very room, Uncle Kage's Story Hour. I'm doing exactly what I'm doing right now, only less sober, I hope.
So a great way to know when things are is by getting a handy-dandy little pocket guide. These are over in registration.
Oh, and where is this registration?
Registration is across the hall. If you have not gone there yet and gotten your badge, you need to do that as the first stop. And we also have con books over there. We talked a little bit in opening ceremonies about this. And there's just a lot of information in here, including descriptions for the panels. So if you see a title and you're like, oh, that looks interesting, I wonder what that's about, you can look at the con book and it'll have the description there for you. What else? I'm flying with
So, well, when you go to registration, don't they give you a badge?
They do give you a badge.
And what is that all about?
So, your badge gets you into all the paneling rooms.
It's just the top part, right?
It's just the top part. I have a collection going, it's a thing. Minors have a sideways badge, so it'll look like that without that stuff there. And then sponsors and super sponsors have a little indication down on the bottom. So if you decide to give us some extra money to help the con run, then you can get into the sponsors lounge. And if you decide to give us even more money because you love us so much, then you can be a super sponsor. You get an extra little gift and you get to go to the super sponsor brunch on Sunday morning.
Now, once you have registered, are you stuck with your registration level? If you want to upgrade, can you do that?
You can upgrade. I'm sorry, I do not know the levels off the top of my head, but Reg can tell you the levels. And you can upgrade anytime until Sunday. We need to know Saturday if you want to be a sponsor so that we can, a super sponsor, so we can make sure we have enough food for everybody. But you're welcome to give us money anytime you want. We'll take it happily.
Now, out of curiosity, for how many folks sitting out there in the dark, is this actually your first furry convention? Okay, that's a good percentage. See, every once in a while there'll be like 500 people out there. I'll say, whose is the first furry convention? 3 or 4 people. I'm like, what are the rest of you doing here?
Watching you make a fool of yourself?
Yeah, basically, yes. But I haven't started that yet.
At least they're honest.
Okay, so we do have a lot of first-timers here. Oh boy. So where should we start?
It's a good question. There's a lot to talk about.
I think we should start about number one, okay, let's start with the obvious stuff. This is a furry convention. Yay, there's furries here, including fursuits. For those of you who are here for the first time, is this your first time actually interacting with fursuits? Not just your first convention, but your first... Oh, perfect.
We actually have a fursuit demonstrator walking in.
Perfect. We got one. I see some sitting in the audience. I might need more than one.
Yeah.
Because there are rules of etiquette when dealing with fursuiters. There are some things you should do and some things you should not do. We want to make sure that you have a good time and the fursuiter has a good time and nobody has their good time spoiled by somebody who didn't know the proper etiquette. Let's see, I see a horny thing down there. Would we be able to borrow you two? Yeah, thank you very much. Are there stairs on this side? Stairs on that side, yeah. Back behind the giant, expensive-looking speakers. There he goes. Oh, incidentally, just a small rule of thumb for those of you who might be new and may not know this. A squeaker in a fursuit is really cute. A squeaker when you're not wearing a fursuit is goddamn creepy. Please don't do it. It's just, ew. These are fursuits. Hey! So, if these folks are dealing with fursuits for the first time, what's one of the first things they ought to know about these fursuits?
Well, one thing you want to know is that fursuits are very expensive.
They're expensive. I'm going. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to ask. We have here $3,700 and $5,000 of fursuit. Remember, we call these suits, we call them costumes. That's a misnomer. These are works of art. They are artwork. They are handmade artwork that is designed to be worn. It should be treated like artwork. You're not going to go up in the Louvre in Paris with Cheeto dust all over your hands and picking your nose and go petting the Mona Lisa. Or if you do, it'll be comical to see what the gendarmes do to you. So that's the first rule. These are expensive. Don't touch them unless you're given permission. And if you are given permission, this is something people love to scratch animals because animals like it. They don't like it. If I go up with my fingernails and I go, yeah, I'm going to pull away a handful of fur, it doesn't grow back. And if you rip out a handful of fur, I know, it's strange, isn't it? If you rip out a handful of fur from one of these, you just destroyed a $5,000 fursuit. And it's not like, oh, you can just get it repaired. It doesn't work that way. The repair itself might be $1,500. So, you should not touch a fursuiter without permission. Don't grab and pull the tail. Why do we tell people this? Why do we have to tell them? Don't grab the head and shake it back and forth.
Don't forget there's a person inside of there.
Yes. Yes, this one just ate, you can tell. All right. Something else about fursuits. This is one of my favorite. If you two could step to the front just a little bit here. Okay, that's good. Let's do the hand thing. This is my favorite. How about you do this one because this one's a little taller and I'm a little taller. So. How well do you think they can see out of these?
Not well.
See, what we're going to do is we're going to put our hands on either side of their big fluffy heads, and we're going to bring our hands in, and they're going to hold up a paw when they see our hands coming in. Okay, here we go. You can do that one if you want. Just the one side if you wish. Okay, here goes. Yeah, that's the field of view. Imagine if you take two toilet paper tubes and put them in front of your eyes, and that's how you view the entire world the entire day. They can't see you coming. It looks from this angle like this creature can see me approaching, but it's unlikely that the creature can. So I could be doing anything over here, and this thing would have no idea what I was up to. Is anybody here a fan of or been to a convention of anime? You ever see something called a glomp?
Yeah.
When you come racing up to somebody and diving tackle them? Guys, that's a goddamn cartoon. Please don't do that to people. You're not going to jump off a cliff and hit the bottom and pick yourself up and dust yourself off and buy something from Acme. It's a cartoon! I've been in the convention business now professionally more than 20 years. I'm the chairman of AnthroCon. I started that in 1999. Thank you. I was staffing conventions for nearly 20 years prior to that. Jesus Christ, I'm old. I have seen people leave the stage. I have seen people get dislocated shoulders, I've seen broken collarbones, I've seen broken ribs, I've seen spinal injuries because some dumbass comes up and leaps on somebody who doesn't know he's coming. If I sound like I'm emphasizing this point, it's because I want to. I don't want to see any more injuries. You know, it's not funny. Don't do it. Also, if a fursuiter is walking or something, don't get in the fursuiter's way because they can't see you coming. I always tell people, try to give them about a 4-foot sphere around them so that there's a little bit of room. Why don't we try a little...
Do you mind if I interject for a second?
I'm sorry?
Do you mind if I interject for a second?
Please do, please
Being
do.
short, I like to make a lot of noise because a lot of fursuiters are taller than I am and can't see me down here. So when they're turning around and they're doing this, I like to walk around and make some noise like, hey, how you doing today? As I'm walking by, so that they don't just run right into me, especially in a crowded area like it can be out in the hall sometimes.
And it is perfectly acceptable, in fact encouraged, to call out to a fursuiter if you suspect the fursuiter might be heading for an obstacle. For example, Fibonacci, would you step forward a few steps? And I can say, stop, 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 look down. There's an abyss in front of you. Don't assume that they see the stairs coming. Don't assume they see, thank you very much, that they see this in front of them. Don't assume they see the little child running up to them at this level. Can you see that little child? No. So please, be a good net. No drop kicking the children unless they absolutely deserve it.
No drop kicking the children at all.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. At all. No drop kicking the children. Sorry, at all. I thought I was still in Germany. Anyhow, so, now, fursuiters, they have their own language, right? Now, like your language you can hear. This one here is not going to speak, I don't think, unless you're going to howl at me. No? Okay, good, because that's a $300 fine.
Well-behaved wolf.
But fursuiters do make they can communicate, usually with their own unique sign language. What? Oh, that's the one. What does that one mean?
Hot.
That means, yes, I am getting warm. Possibly I am overheating. That means I want a sandwich. No, that also means that's a little fan. I want to emphasize, if you see a fursuiter fanning the face doing this, that actually is something that might be a call of distress. Because these are performers. These are expert performers. They're hardcore. They don't like to go pulling that head off in public. Incidentally, this is the time to interject myself. Never develop a crush on a fursuit. Remember, you should get to know the person inside. If you develop a crush on a fursuit, you might find out what's inside was not what you were expecting.
That's a great metaphor for life.
It is. So, we've got our fursuits here. We talked about warning them something's coming. If you see them doing this, they could actually be experiencing a heat-related illness in there. These things do get very hot. They do get very stuffy. So, if you see a fursuiter doing that, it's perfectly acceptable to go up and say, are you doing okay in there? Okay. How about you, pup? You feeling all right? Okay, good. You notice the answer each time was yes. There are two answers to that question. Are you doing okay? Do you feel all right? The two answers are yes and everything else. Anything that is not a definitive yes, you should alert a staff member. And how do we know what a staff member looks like?
That's That's a good question. We do have our own badges that are specifically for the staff wherever I put my badge at. I found it. It has a cardinal on it with a pineapple. It's different from these attendee badges. But on top of that, we will also be wearing our shirts. We might not wear them every day, but we have our shirts that are a different color from the attendee shirts.
If you do not see a staff member and you have not gotten a yes answer, grab a passerby and say, could you get some help, please? It's much better to summon help if it's not needed than to not summon help if it is needed. And here's why. One of the first symptoms of heat exhaustion, or heaven forbid heat stroke, is mental confusion. They start to get disoriented. So if you see a fursuiter who is either fanning the face, or worse, standing and leaning against a wall like this, I hate when they do that, or sitting very, very still, if you say to them, are you all right? And the answer is, that's a no. And they need assistance. Don't go pulling the head off. Of course, it might be attached inside, then you really will be pulling the head off. It'll be adorable and tragic at the same time.
Fortunately, we do have the Dorsai here helping us this weekend, and they are trained to help with issues like that, and they are trained to take the heads off if they need to. So finding any staff member to help you in that situation, we'll get the Dorsai and we'll get it taken care of.
Yep. And don't do it, stay with the person.
Yes.
Don't go, because he'll go wandering off somewhere.
Yep.
Stay with the person and get some help. If you see a fursuiter sitting very, very still, you can go in and say, doing okay? And you look for that yes or the nod. I actually had a circumstance years ago where a fursuiter was sitting in the lobby with this big, happy smile and big, bright eyes, and people were going up and getting selfies with him, and I noticed he wasn't moving. I went up to the fursuiter, I said, yo, hello, are you okay in there? Give him a little shake. Are you all right? Are you all right? Okay, that is a medical emergency. This person has passed out and is probably baking inside that suit. We got proper medical attention and all was well. Because they might need to get up to their room to take the head off or to get some water, we usually, as a matter of course, give fursuiters priority at the elevators. I don't care where you have to be. These probably have to be there before you. Let the fursuiters into the elevator first. Let's see, we covered their field of vision. We covered it's all right to say, hey, look out, look down, look up, look sideways. There's a child running toward you.
So you covered you don't want to attack them. How do I get a hug from a fursuiter?
Oh, how do I get a hug from a fursuiter? I would love to have a hug from a fursuiter. Oh, here's a way to try it. Try this. May I have a hug? Oh, look, I get that lovely gesture. That's good. Try it on the puppy here.
Can I have a hug?
See? Yes, the open arms. Now, what if you do not want me to hug you? Can I have a hug? Oh, something like this. Yep. All right. Don't take that personally. That is not an insult. It's not saying you're icky, don't come close to me. That's not it. What the fursuiter is saying is, this probably is not a good time to hug me. I am overheated and really should not. I am drenched in sweat and you don't want to hug me. Or I really have to go to the bathroom and you shouldn't be squeezing me. Well, that's another thing. When you hug anybody, don't do the bear hug thing. I don't even know where the heck that started. I don't like people hugging me. If you come out to hug me, I'm going to say, easy, easy. Because 17 years ago, somebody bear hugged me and broke this rib, the third one down. I mean, snapped it. And that was very painful. And even today, if you give me too tight a hug, I feel it. So that's a 17-year injury. Don't bear hug people. Yeah, it's good that you're affectionate, but don't.
That's another good reason to not take offense to somebody that doesn't want to hug you. They might be injured.
Yeah.
They might not like people touching them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have our quirks.
So just respect. It doesn't mean don't hug me at all, I don't like you. It means not right now, maybe later. So that's very important. We don't want people getting their feelings hurt. Let's see, what else should folks know about fursuiters?
What if you want a picture taken?
Oh, you want a picture taken? Why don't you demonstrate with the puppy here? You want a picture of the puppy?
Hey, can we get a picture?
Perfect example of what not to do.
Yeah. If you want to get a picture, okay, continue. We'll cover that.
Can I get a picture? So he was saying that was a bad example of what to do because you want to be out and ready to go and get your picture taken. You don't want to have to fumble around and open the camera and do all that and then, okay, now I'm ready. Because now I've been standing there for 5 minutes waiting for you.
And here's another one. Please don't do this. Hey, can I have a picture?
Oh, God.
That's why his eyes look like that. I have so many pictures of fursuit eyes on my phone. Don't use a flash unless you have to, or if you're going to use a flash, warn them there's a flash coming. Because remember, they can only see here, and that flash could leave big spots in front of their eyes. But
No, he just pointed out something good. If you want to take a video, tell them that you're taking a video.
Yep. There are so many, I've seen it before. Fursuiters, okay, picture. It's a video. It's like, just tell me, all right? Yep. Or you'll language, please. There's babies out there. Ashamed of you. Said, do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Can I? Oops, sorry, not that kind of convention. I'm back. Like I said, hey, your mom's not really. Anyhow.
She's right down there.
Oh, hi Mom, good to see you. Let's move right along, shall we?
Yes.
This is called a tap dance. Fursuits, yes, we're talking about fursuits. Anything else about fursuits that we should know? You don't go touching without permission. And food and drink. What about food and drink?
Don't touch fursuiters with food and drink.
Oh,
Yeah, we can cover that with the Cheeto dust.
If you've got a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or something, don't run up and hug the fursuiter with it. Put it down somewhere. I call this the coffee hug. If a fursuiter wants to hug me and I got coffee, I say, sure, I can have a hug, and I hold it way out here.
Yeah.
Because remember, $3,700, $5,000, coffee stains don't come out. Neither do wine stains. That's why I only drink white wine. There's a reason. Red wine will.
Along with not developing a crush on the fursuit, don't get handsy with the fursuits. You don't know who's inside of there.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Okay. Like I said, don't go grabbing pieces of the fursuit or the lanyard and tug on them. Essentially, don't do anything to a fursuit, even though it looks cute and adorable. You want to go up and you want to pet it, you want to hug it, you want to say it's pretty. Don't do anything to a fursuit you're not going to do to somebody in the supermarket. Because imagine, I walk up to a fursuit and I go, oh, you're pretty, and I start petting you. Now imagine it's the supermarket. Oh, you're pretty. He's gonna slug me.
I mean,
You should.
nah, I'm not offended.
You should have slugged me. But it is this natural inclination we have. When you see a cute animal, you want, oh, look at the cute thing, I want to pet it. Remember, some animals bite. And some of them know martial arts. You know martial arts, right? No? That one does.
Nice.
Comme ci, comme ça. Okay, what else should we know about fursuits? And these two should know that there's wires across the stage here, so if you walk over here, be careful. Like I said, it's perfectly fine. Let them know. Okay, they get very, very warm inside. Don't go touching them without permission. This is another one. If you say, may I pet you, may I touch you or something, and they say yes or give an affirmative, stay above the shoulders. I hate that I have to explain this to people. Never touch a fursuiter on the torso anywhere, because you don't know who's in here. And, oh boy, This came up at Amphicon this year, and it caused a bit of an issue. It was an otter fursuit, and because otters have very short legs, the crotch of the fursuit was down here. And somebody went to give the otter a tummy rub. Don't touch a fursuiter on the torso under any circumstances, because you don't know who's in there, and you don't know where you ought to be touching them. All right.
This right here, this is good pets.
Stay up here. And don't get your fingernails in just very, very lightly. Oh, you're so soft and fluffy and squeaky.
And you want to stay with the grain of the fur too, because going up can also loosen it.
Yeah, because even though they can't feel it, it will make it stick up and it'll look funny. They don't like that. What else about fursuits? Should we let them know? Don't get them dirty. Keep the Cheeto dust away. Keep the red wine away. Give them priority at the elevator. Don't get in their way if they're walking. They can't see you coming. Don't jump on them. Anything else we might have missed? Anything you want these folks to know?
Giant stompy feet. Really easy to walk on people.
Oh, yeah, don't lie down in front of them. They will trip over you. Or worse, they will curb stomp you. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, that's it. You can sit down, you can stay up here, whichever you want. It's up to you. Yeah, and watch the wires. Okay, so that's the big thing. This is a furry convention, and if you've never dealt with fursuits before, now you know fursuit etiquette. How about making sure their fun time doesn't get ruined?
There's lots of ways that can happen.
There's lots of ways that can happen. By not following proper rules of taking care of yourself.
Oh yes, rules of taking care of yourself. I thought you were going with rules of the convention. Those are also important.
Oh, we'll cover those later.
Okay.
Because
Taking care of yourself is important.
well, some folk, if this is their first convention, they may not have spent 4, 5, 6 days, who knows, in a hotel before. This is the very first time they've been among their people. You're excited, your adrenaline's up. Oh boy, I found my community, I found my world. You've seen it happen. I've seen it happen dozens of times. You're so happy, so excited, so keyed up. You're having so much fun, you actually forget to eat.
Been there.
Yep, the adrenaline essentially subdues that hunger response. There's a little rule in our fandom. Some of you may know it. It was originally called Passeboy's Rule, after Dr. Passeboy, who's a member of the Dorsi.
This is gonna get really crazy. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
You taught me this
I
when
taught you
I
that.
went to my first Furry Con.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am
My
old.
first time at that.
Wow. Yeah, this is what running a furry convention for 20 years will do to you. I started that when I was 12.
Stay over 30.
Thank you.
Yes. Hope that was a good age.
It is. It is. There's the people that come and say, you don't look a day over 50.
So that rule,
Oh, that rule. What's
Yeah.
that rule called? You should remember.
it is called 621.
And 621, it is 6.
Hours.
No.
It is 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower.
Yes.
At least each day.
Now, let's take them in order. 6 hours of sleep. You're young, you're dynamic. You can get away with 2 hours of sleep a night. No, you can't. You think you can.
I think you can.
Listen to that Philly accent. You think you can, but you cannot. We see that too. Your body will run down. It needs to rejuvenate, it needs to regenerate itself during that sleep. If you deny it the sleep and you're out at whatever that uns thing is they call it with the...
I believe that's called a rave.
Yeah, whatever that is, the fog and the damn kids and your rock and roll. Anyhow. Thank you. You will start to weaken your body. You might still be able to bench press 600 pounds, but you will weaken your body's systems, namely the immune system.
That leads to con crud.
Exactly. That leads to a little thing we call con crud. This is something that's been talked about since they first started having conventions. You know, basically back in the Stone Age, they were having a rock convention, and Ukla came up to Muktuk and said, Ukla not feel good. Muktuk said, Ukla have con crud. That's where it came from. We have people here from all over the country, all over the world, including Canada,
It's true.
which is another country,
It is.
for the most part, except for Toronto, but anyhow.
North, I believe. last
Yeah,
time.
it's northern, it's like North Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly. One big state.
And every region of the country, every region of the world has its own particular sub-variety of bacteria and viruses. You've already been exposed to the ones here at your home, and your body has developed an immunity to them. You don't even know they're there. But your body has never seen the variety of virus that comes from California, or Japan, or Australia, and will react to it. If the immune system has been weakened, it will get hold of you. Why spend 3 of the 5 days or whatever that you're here lying in bed feeling ill? You can do that at work. You're here to have fun.
Or you don't want to miss work right after you come back from vacation.
Oh, that always looks bad.
Yeah.
I'm back from a 4-day vacation, now I'm sick. Your boss doesn't like to hear that.
Yeah.
But it happens. And con crud can take many forms. It can be in the nasal passages, you'll be sneezing and hacking and coughing. It can be gastrointestinal, gastroenteritis, hits very hard. My favorite one, I use favorite very loosely by the way, there was a convention in the Pacific Northwest, not a furry convention, I can't remember which one it was, I think it might have been one of the E3s. About 6 years ago, their con crud was the H1N1 virus. They had more than 100 cases of it. Take care of your body. Get the sleep that you need. Sleep in. If your roommate snores, wear earplugs. Okay, that's the 6.
Yep.
Now the 2.
2 is 2 meals.
And what's a meal?
Pop-Tarts.
No.
Actual food.
Pop-Tarts are not a meal.
Actual food.
Monster Energy is not a meal.
That includes the water too. Drink water. That's what I was doing.
Just like they taught you in school. Have some protein, have some grains, have some vegetable, have some fruit. Yeah, if you do
Pizza
not...
every day will destroy you.
Oh, it will. It is non-nutritive. It might fill you up, but you're denying your body fuel. Or if you're having so much fun at these raves, as you call them, with the lasers and the oomps, and you don't eat, your body will shut down. It will. This has been going on since I started with you being on convention staff. Usually, it's about the 3rd day of the convention, which for most conventions is about Saturday. At Saturday, around noon to 3 in the afternoon is when we can anticipate the first radio call coming in. Unresponsive person in the lobby.
Which is not going to happen here this weekend.
We hope. Of course, it can never happen here.
Ever.
Unresponsive person in the lobby. Security will go out, and they're going to find a person out cold, lying face down on the floor. Here's what we do. We roll them over carefully, check to make sure there's no injuries, then we smack them awake and say, when was the last time you ate? And 80% of the time, it's predictable. The answer is, Tuesday? They're laughing like it's funny, like I'm making that up.
Like it hasn't happened before.
It happens all the time. They're on a roll. They're meeting friends. They're seeing people. They don't have time to eat, and the body just, that's it.
One thing I actually learned, one of my first cons, especially when I started staffing, is I'm running everywhere. I forget to eat, and I know that I do. So I tell a friend, hey, make sure that I eat this weekend. So they hold me accountable, and they make sure that I'm eating.
And even the experts sometimes can slip. One of my early visits to Eurofurence in the town of Nuremberg in Germany, Nuremberg makes a particular kind of bratwurst, which I think they put crack in or something, because once you start eating it, you can't stop, and you find yourself breaking into the place in the wee hours of the night just to have more bratwurst. I love other stuff. I had bratwurst for lunch, bratwurst for dinner. Didn't have time for breakfast. I had bratwurst for lunch and dinner the next day. Breakfast the next day, I'm busy. I'm doing programming. The next day, breakfast, lunch, and around dinner time, I started to realize I don't feel so good.
That's hurting my stomach just thinking about it.
Yeah, but it's good, bratwurst. I had to go into detox for 4 days.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, bratwurst detox. Basically, they strap you to a table and they feed you Oscar Mayer bologna. That's how they get the bratwurst out of your system. I'm making all this up.
I hope so.
See, because somebody out there is going to say, really? No.
Yeah. I did for a second, and then the bologna came in, and I was like, that makes no sense.
But the bratwurst story, that is true. So, yes, vary your diet. Don't have the same thing every day.
Yes.
If nothing else, go to the bar, the restaurant, bar, whatever, and say, hey, how about a Caesar salad
They
with
have
some
a tasty
chicken?
Caesar salad. I was just going to say that. They have really good Caesar salad.
Yep.
And there are also some nice delis around, too. I like to get just a sandwich every once in a while, because it
You
feels
get a
like
what?
real food. A sandwich?
A sandwich?
Like a turkey sandwich.
Where are you from?
Here?
Here?
No, in
Originally.
Illinois.
Illinois.
Can't think right now.
Okay, that's you have this odd
Sandwich.
northeastern
Chicago
accent.
machine.
Okay, all right, that would do. Anyhow,
Anyway.
so a sandwich, all right.
Sandwich.
But
Yeah.
that's even more of an A than I put it. The only people who put in more A are the Canadians, but that's a never mind. Okay,
That's a good one.
that's the 6 and the 2. We're not going to belabor the point. Feed yourself. You must.
And drink water.
Yes. Oh, please drink the water, especially if you're a
Caffeine is
person.
Sugar is good,
Yep.
but water is necessary.
And now the 1. The 6 and the 2, that's primarily for you. The 1 is for us.
It's for you too.
Yes.
I don't know about anybody else, but I need a shower to like help my mental state too.
Mhm.
And you want to be in a good mental state when you're here and you're having fun, so that you can enjoy yourself.
Axe body spray is not a shower.
It is not.
Underarm deodorant is not a shower. Cologne is not a shower. Oh God, Febreze is by no means a shower. Let me tell you something. By the way, I'm an actual scientist. I don't just dress this way. This is my work attire. I got a doctorate in chemistry from a long time back. Yeah, they had chemistry back then.
All the way back then?
Yes, I learned from
Did you find the first
Untitled.
element?
Yep, I did. I came up with the first element. I called it samium, but they said, let's make it hydrogen instead. Oh, crap. All right. Well, the human olfactory sense, y'all know what that means, right? Your sniffer, your sense of smell, is the worst in the animal kingdom, with few exceptions. We lost our sense of smell a long time ago. You know, when Utah went up to his buddy, yo, you smell pretty, and then got punched in the face for it. But
True story. He was there.
do you wonder how people can work in like sewage treatment plants or, you know, rendering
I
plants
wondered that.
without like, because it's been shown that in about 15 minutes, if there is an aroma that is constantly around us, no matter how awful, that aroma after about 15 minutes will disappear to us. Our nose will get desensitized to it. And we can discuss the evolutionary reasons for that later on. That's for another lecture.
Don't you have a panel about something like that? Other crap?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked at the schedule.
6 and something and outright crap?
Oh, well, actually, yes, but this is more for a discussion at
Yeah,
the
I'm
bar.
sorry.
As long as you
Okay, I'm
buy,
sorry.
I will tell you. That's how it works. But your sense of smell will stop smelling an aroma after about 15 minutes. You could be putting off a stench that can drop a rhinoceros in its tracks and you won't know it. But we will. So please. Usually it's most noticeable in the elevator.
Yeah.
You get in the elevator, it's like, okay. And if you ask me, how do you tell somebody? I don't know. I have not yet
I'm
figured
too
out.
Midwestern to tell anybody.
I'm Philly, I still can't tell. Yo, you stink. Can't do that. We're furries. Furries don't
Because
do
you're
that.
just nice.
So yes, get that shower. It will also help with the con crud.
Yes.
For those of you who might not know about these things, you take off your clothing, you get under the hot water, you rub soap all over your body, you rinse the soap off, and then you put on different clothing that you started with. Why do I have to tell people these things?
Because it's happened.
Somebody made it necessary, yes.
Yes.
That's 621. Oh, we taught you about how to take care of yourself and your friends. I'm going to reiterate, help me.
Reiterate.
Thank you. Something that Alkali said in a public service announcement on Twitter, which I thought that was very, very good. I like to drink too. Some people might even say that I drink a lot.
Hey, Kage, they restocked the wine wall for
Thank you. That's mine. So, okay. It's fun to drink. I'm an adult. I can drink if I want. But know your limits. You must be able to stop when you've had too much. If you can't do that, make sure you have friends who are good enough friends who will tell you that you've had enough. I have one hard and fast rule with my closest friends. If one of them leans over with a smile and says, "Oh, okay, Kage, it might be time for bed," it's time to stop. I don't keep going. And the reason for that is, what your friend is trying to tell you is, you're acting like an asshole. There is a fine line between being the life of the party and being a complete asshole. And I've seen so many people so far on that side of the line, they did, oh, hi, speaking of complete assholes. Hi, it's Alkali. Embrace me. Oh, good to see you too. Why are you late?
I was from finance. You know what finance does at a con.
Oh, right.
Concierge was here.
Oh, well, the concierge isn't allowed to touch money anymore.
Rude.
It's not Saturday.
Kage,
What?
Alkaline was sweeping off MST3K.
Oh, right. By the way, for those of you who do not know, this is Alkali Bismuth, possibly the most talented improvisational comic this fandom has ever produced.
I concur.
And you can see him on stage if you look at your amazing pocket program, or if you cheat and make one like I did. You can see him. You can see him. I forgot to put your things on. When are you performing?
Next panel will be Convention War Stories. That is in, I think, second.
It's in here at one.
Why do you have you?
Oh, why? Why? Okay, look.
It's a
Old.
piece of paper with a drawing on it. That is not a schedule.
It's close enough.
What is that?
That's a duck.
While they're arguing, I'm gonna
See the little beak?
stand over
Okay,
here and
now-
say that while the pocket guide is good and can tell you generally when stuff is, if anything changes, it'll be most up to date on Sked.
This is
So you want to bookmark that website, so you can just open your phone and go right there and look at what you're trying to look at. You
Yeah.
can separate it by day. You can separate it by event. You can separate it by event type. So if you just want to go to charity events or you just want to go to art events, you can look that up.
And
That's a lot more technology than my first con. I had to use the pocket guide and I had highlight all over it. I want to go to this con, I want to go to this con, I want to go to this one.
one more.
Old people. At 1:30, yes, in here.
Did you just call me old?
No, us. We're old.
Okay, good.
One other thing you can do on Sked is if you make an account
Oh, that's true,
and
yeah.
you select an event,
Yeah.
and that will send you a reminder of, hey, you wanted to attend this, it's getting ready to start.
So I was just reminded that if you create an account on Sked, you can bookmark an event and it'll send you a Google reminder.
Oh, I forgot
What
this.
that is doing.
This sked thing. How do you get to that?
It is indyfurcon2019.sked.com, I think.
Isn't it
Something
org?
like that.
I think it's sked.org.
Maybe.
Yeah. You can do that on your laptop or on your PC or on those other things or these
You have to type
or your
2019.
cellulite
If you
phone,
just
whatever
type
this thing
in-
is called here.
If you just type IndyFurCon, it'll go to 2018 schedule. So you have to type 2019.
Yes, indyfurcon2019.sked.com.
.com. I was right. Ha!
Yes, but it always makes sure to double check.
Doesn't matter. I was right.
Well, first you were right, you're the
Oh,
concierge.
I already. Oh, that's right.
Concierge always right.
Yes. Oh, yes. That. Okay. Number one rule: the con-chair is always right. Number two rule: don't piss off the con-chair.
Exactly.
That's actually
Especially
the only
when
two
they're a
rules.
cat.
There are no
That's
other
what they do,
rules.
Shirley.
No.
Too late.
This is what happens when your concierge is a cat. Finance is on the ground. The
What we-
oatmeal is everywhere.
That's
What
a
we
story for
need now
another-
is a super soaker. That's what you do for cats.
Oh, can I get a spray bottle? Is that how I take over the con?
No, I do not approve this overage.
My roommate has one, do you want it?
No, she's in charge.
So,
I know who runs this shit.
I mentioned before that Uncle Kage's story hour is at 6 o'clock, but right after that is Whose Lion Is It Anyway? That is where the improvisational talents of Alkali really shine.
And all of you, if you've never been to it, Whose Line Is It Anyway is an audience participation panel. You guys are the performers, we are the MCs. Come on up, try out your comedic chops. If you weren't here last night, we did an open mic panel at when Smashing the Well. Who was here for the open mic panel? Thank you guys so much for being there. Guys, if I'm at a convention, if this gentleman's at, look for open mic in the schedule. It is the best thing that you can do if you've ever wanted to try traditional stand-up. We're all friends here. We're going to give you a hand. We're going to tell you what worked, what didn't, and you're going to get a round of applause. Or a lot of groans. If you tell knock-knock jokes for 5 minutes.
Yes, don't do that, please. It's
Oh,
been
God.
done.
Sorry.
No, that one was funny.
Knock, knock.
Shut up!
By the way, photographers hate us, the professional photographers. They can't white balance this picture.
Do we have any minors in the audience?
Oh, anybody under the age of 18, not people from West Virginia that dig coal. We're talking people under 18. Well, those are minors.
One panel that I'm very proud of is we have a minors meet and greet with a parent Q&A right next door in Indianapolis E&D tomorrow at, I can't read what this is, 10:30 a.m.
Almost. You were about to do that. By the way, do you notice Alkali doesn't use a microphone?
Doesn't need one.
We're talking about programming for one specific. That's good. I'm doing well today.
For one specific.
One specific reason. Guys, you get out of a convention what you put into it. If you came to this convention and you're going to stay in your room the whole time, maybe you bought a Switch with you. Is that what it's called, a Switch? I got it right. I've been calling them Wii's for 2 years. If you're just going to sit in your room, you're probably not going to have a good time. Panels are a chance for you guys to meet people who have similar interests to you. Panels are a chance for you guys to participate in the game that the convention is putting on, and panels are a chance for you guys to encounter other things that the furry fandom really holds near and dear to its heart. Please, do yourself a favor, look at the pocket schedule, pick a few panels, go to them, and meet some new people. FurCons are a great place to meet people, and then you end up at MFF and Anthrocon, the biggest cons ever, and don't see any of them.
Now, I was going to point out, IFC has a list of standards of conduct, don't you? Where
Yes,
are they
we do.
published?
They're published online. I believe we might have a copy in registration. I'm not sure. I have to double check.
It's not rocket surgery. It basically says things like, you know, do not lick the power outlet, do not jump
Pretty
off the roof, everything that has been made necessary because somebody made it necessary.
Excuse me, Uncle Kage, what types of weapons are not allowed at Anthrocon?
We cannot have swords, we cannot have switchblades, we cannot have knives, we cannot have pistols, we cannot have flintlock pistols, we cannot have dry powder pistols, we cannot have automatic rifles,
And when in your code of conduct you listed every weapon type you could think of, what did somebody bring to your convention?
A shoulder-mounted rocket launcher because it wasn't on the list. Don't be a rules lawyer. It's very, very simple. If you're having fun and a member of security or a staff member or a hotel staffer says, okay, fun's fun, but let's not do that anymore, stop it. Because your version of fun is either dangerous or it's infringing on somebody else's fun. We don't have to get into details. Remember, the security folk, they are here, they're not here to march around and spoil your fun. They're here to make sure you have fun, and that in having fun, you don't wind up taking a ride in the very expensive rave wagon.
Oh, the rave.
Which
I'm
one?
assuming you covered fursuits.
We covered fursuits.
621.
621?
Where Lost and Found is.
Oh, where, you tell us where that is.
Lost and Found, if you have
Are you
lost...
sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
I've already turned in stuff to them.
Yeah, I
Lost and Found, because we do have 2 separate offices this year, one for operations, one for security. Lost and Found is at security. If it is at the end of the convention and you are worried that we have left with your stuff, let it be known. If it is important, AKA photo identification. It is now with the hotel. So check with security for the convention. Check with the front desk of the hotel if you are missing anything. Those are the 2 locations will be turned into. And if you pick something up, turn it in right away. Don't wait till Sunday and cuddle with somebody's driver's license. Just don't do that.
Another good tip is to set your badge number or your badge as your lock screen. So when somebody turns your phone on, they'll see who it belongs to. They can bring it to Reg and we can look up the person.
Please
Contact them.
do. I wound up with 6 phones in my lost and found
You got
this year.
6 this year. That's a new record.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. It is very, okay, it's very, very embarrassing for me if the phone is unlocked to look up, mom or something and then dial it. Because a nice lady's voice answers what I have to say. This isn't your kid. I've had to keep an eye on your stuff.
Also,
Okay, I have to throw this out because I'll forget because I'm old. We are very friendly. We're a nice community. But not every single person here is necessarily the most stellar example of humanity.
Thanks for looking at me.
No, I mean, anyway, I was talking to the guy behind you. Do you know how many times people have come up and said, somebody stole my wallet? Oh, gee, where did this happen? Well, I left it on the table when I went to the dance, and when I came back, it was gone. Well, yes, you deserved it. You're an idiot. At Anthocon about 6 years ago, there was one of these expensive cameras, one of these like, holy cow, that's like a $5,000 camera. It was sitting on the coffee table in the lobby of the hotel. And I was waiting for the guest of honor who was delayed. It sat there for 2 hours. And I started to ask around, is this yours? Does anybody know who owns this? And nobody knew. So I took a passing staff member and said, take it up to Lost and Found, please. And as sure as the day is long, the next morning, I happened to be in ops, and this guy breathlessly came in, somebody stole my camera! Oh yeah, what did it look like? Well, it was like $5,000, and I said, yeah, it's in operations. Do me a favor, don't just leave it lying around, because it was me who found it. It could have been somebody else who ain't quite as honest.
So watch your stuff.
Yeah.
You had something?
You did. Then I interrupted you.
That's okay. Whatever we covered. We got...
We did their health, we did the con rules, we did the Lost and Found,
That's everything.
wearing your badges.
Well, talking
okay.
about weapons, I'll jump in real quick. If you do have a prop, whether it looks like a weapon or not, you should take it to Dorsai and they'll piece bond it, which means they'll just put a little zip tie on it so that we all know that it's a prop and not the real thing, because you'll get in trouble if it's the real thing.
I think you got it.
Now, is there anything that is, okay, we talk about, I learned this in Europe. We always talk about generic convention things, but there are some things that are specific to the convention that we've been here the whole time that we might know, but somebody who's here for the first time wouldn't know, like, what is ops? When we say ops, where do we find security?
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, ops is what we call operations, the nerve center of the convention,
And that's in Salon 7,
and Salon 7 is that way.
that way.
Out
Right.
this door.
Past
Yep.
Reg.
Yep. And security is located.
In Wilkie is what the room is called. That's
Security
next to
is
the
right
atrium.
next to the atrium. Their door is open all the time. If you have any problems during the con, that is where to go to. The Dorsai are an amazing group of people who always know what to do until they don't.
And by
There's also a
Dorsai,
little map
oh, there's a
on your
map.
pocket guide, and it's
That's
labeled.
smart. In 2-point font. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
For the young
Like
people.
this, and that's it.
The Dorsai are what is the name given to a crew that call themselves the Dorsai Irregulars. They have been providing fan security services at conventions since the 1970s. They know what they're doing. They've probably seen it all. Don't put them to the test. So when we talk about the Dorsai, we're talking about volunteers who give up their time to provide safety services and security services to the convention. All of the staff members are also volunteers. Nobody here is paid, even him. Nobody makes any money out of this. Every one of the staff members is doing this for the express purpose of you having a good time this weekend. So I always like to have a hand for the staff for really putting in yeoman's work. Oh, what to do if you want to volunteer?
Oh, that's a good question. You can go to operations and speak to Storm Griffin. He is our volunteer lead, and he'll find a spot for you. There's always a need for volunteers. Never know what's going to pop up, and we're going to need somebody.
Exactly, and we need people from everything from, can you carry this over there, to, Alkali has passed out, throw some water on him.
Thanks for that one, by the way. That was so kind of you.
I made sure it was cold water, just to make sure he woke up.
3 volunteers, he sent. 3 in a row because he couldn't find a bucket and had to use cups. You are a wonderful jacket.
You're a stalwart fellow. I wanted to make sure there was proper coverage of the incident.
One of them was 2 minutes late. I was on my way back to the room.
I can't control furries and being late. I'm sorry. But as long as there was proper coverage.
Yeah, I was covered in water.
Yes, I know.
It could have been alkaline, it could have been worse, it could have been warm and salty.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Do we have any sponsors in here? Sponsors or super sponsors?
Oh,
Awesome.
people with money.
If
We
you
like
haven't
people with
looked at
money.
your map already, there is a sponsors lounge, and that is in Veterans 3, which is that direction. That'll have little snackies and drinks and stuff for you to enjoy.
If no one has anything else.
Oh, something that's unique to Indy FurCon. We have a sponsor Concierge that's over in the zoo, right next to our awesome charity tables.
What is the
You should
zoo?
check them out.
What is the zoo?
What's the zoo?
The zoo is the atrium. It's an area to just hang out and mingle and hang out. I said that already.
The sponsor
Specifically so that
concierge?
we're not blocking the hallways. If you want to mingle with each other, go out to the zoo and hang out. There's some chairs over there you can sit.
Another thing very unique to Indy FurCon that I'm going to have Kim talk about, unless you haven't, I apologize. We have a tree here.
Oh yeah, we talked about it at opening ceremonies. We'll talk about it again. So right around the corner we have a tree. We're giving away leis for the theme this year. And the tradition with a lei is someone gives it to you, adorns it to you. Reg is a little swamped, so they're just on the table for you to take and enjoy. If you, at any point throughout the convention, do not want to keep your lei, the tradition is that you give a real lei that's made out of real flowers back to the earth. You either bury it or you hang it on a tree for it to, like I said, go back to the earth. We do not want to do that with plastic, but we have created a tree over in the corner right around here for you to hang your leis on. There is a memorial table right next to it for remembering the people that are here with us in spirit this weekend. So if you want to add a picture to the table, please feel free. But that is the purpose of that area. Yep. I forgot mine at
I
home.
love it. I love it.
All right, we're running a little low on time, I believe. Any questions before we go?
Oh, you guys are making this easy on
Yeah.
us.
All right.
Oh, you're never going to make it easy on us.
All right.
What?
Yeah, what do you want?
Do you have to donate in a charity panel?
No. You do, okay, we raise a lot of money for charity. That's one of the things furries do. There's a lot of charity events. At no time do we like to say, you can't have fun with us if you don't have money. Charity panels, you don't have to donate. If you don't, we're liable to look at you funny and point you out. But it is voluntary. We want you to donate, but please don't feel you have to if you're going to wind up going without dinner because of it. Of course, if you have money or just a cheapskate, give us the money. So I had to add that in.
Thank you, Sam.
Anything else?
Any other questions? I think we're going to call it.
I just got off a plane. I need to grab food. Oh, yes, yes.
He's right there.
Oh, yes, here.
How
I
was
see.
your flight?
Come to Uncle Kage's story hour. I know exactly how I'm starting it. Thank you all. I'm turning this off.
Bye, guys.
What, one more? Wait, what?
It's just a quick one. Does the sponsor suite provide more than just snacks and drinks?
There are some finger foods that happen at the lunchish time and dinnerish time. Those are technical terms.
Those
No
are,
worries.
we do apologize. Those are first come, first serve.
Yep.
We are putting as much in there as we can.
And they are not meant to replace a meal.
Exactly.
It is some
Yes,
things-
please don't sit in there all day and eat.
Oh, and when they tell you you can't take a drink out of there, we apologize. Soda is sticky. We can't have it leave that room because that's how you get ants.
Do you want
Or angry fursuiters.
Or angry
Ants, that's how you get ants.
All right, I gotta go. I'm sorry. You guys finish
Guys,
this up.
let's give a huge round of applause to Uncle Kage! Another one for your Concierge, Nikki! I'm gonna stay for another minute because our daughter saw another question. What did you have?
Are we still doing the sponsored dinner on Saturday?
No, we have a sponsored brunch, right?
Yes.
We have,
The schedule.
we have a sponsored brunch. It's in the schedule, and since I will be busy, I don't know what it is. Anyone else with a question? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Elkley. I'll see you in your half an hour for Convention Horror Stories. Have a great day.
Have a laugh.
Go. Oh, yes, I do.
Silver Gatoman, he bought me a coffee. Silver Gatoman, here is the song for thee. He likes to video all the panels at the cons. You should go and watch them whether they are short or long. Silver Gatoman, you video that's not a jibe. All of you go to his YouTube channel and like and subscribe.